Yo! I got my Artisan Hien a little over 4 months ago and it's been my main ever since. And finally in this video I'm going to share my experience. This is probably one of the most hyped up mousepads in existence, so I thought I'd let you know if it deserves the hype by looking at it as objectively as possible. I'll try to go over every single detail. Timestamps are in the description if you want to see any things in particular. I also wanted to try something new for my reviews, so I asked on Reddit if there were any things in particular you guys wanted to know. I'll try to cover everything in this video and I'll answer some of your questions at the end. After waiting like 2 weeks for it to be in stock on the Artisan website, it took around 2 more weeks to get it shipped from Japan to the Netherlands. Here's the packaging. It came in a flat one, which is very nice as it lays down flat immediately. The rest of the packaging was nothing special, it got the job done. The pad comes in 4 different sizes and 3 different levels of hardness. I got the XL Soft, which is the most popular one. It's 49 by 42 centimeters, which I really like as it's a bit larger than most other XL pads. Here's a quick comparison to the QCK Heavy. It is quite expensive, at around $60 to $80 I believe, to get it to the US, but I had to pay 107 euros for it to be shipped to the Netherlands. DHL, the courier, really screwed me over by adding another shipping fee after they shipped it. I've heard more stories similar to mine, so keep this in mind if you live in the EU. The pad looks absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. I got the wine red version. Someone asked for a color accurate representation, so here's a shot out in the daylight. I'll try to match it to its real color in the editing. Keep in mind that the screen you're watching on is shifting the colors a bit as well, so it won't be 100% accurate. The logo looks like it's printed on the pad. It's quite subtle and you don't feel it at all. Not sure if this was the intention or if it's because of the rough texture, but some parts do look a bit faded. According to the website, the surface is made out of polyester. It's quite rough to the touch, but it's a way finer weave than the MP510 for example. The surface feels way more satisfying to me. It might be abrasive to some people, but most will be fine. I actually kinda like it as it feels more interesting. It also allows you to have more stopping power by sort of dragging your fingers along the pad, which is what I usually do. The pad is pretty fast, slightly faster than the Fnatic Dash, but not as fast as like an endgame gear MPC for example. Here's a glide test with my Viper Ultimate with Tiger Arc V2s. You still got a decent amount of stopping power. If you're coming from a slower pad like the QCK, Glorious XXL or something along those lines, this will be a lot quicker and harder to control. For me, this is exactly where I want to be in terms of speed. I feel like it's very good for basically every type of shooter, although I think most people would prefer something with more control for tactical shooters. If you mainly play tactical shooters and are not sure what to get, I would first look at the Artisan Zero as that's like an upgraded QCK. Something I feel like most reviewers don't talk about enough is the plushiness of the pad. It's unlike any other pad I've ever tried. When I first got the pad, I just couldn't stop squeezing it as it just feels orgasmically nice. Just try squeezing your current pad and feel how it's utter shit. This thing is different. I would really recommend for your first Artisan to get a soft or even an extra soft, although I've never tried that one. The premium sponge inside is really no gimmick. It allows for more stopping power, comfort and a premium feel. As far as I know, no other pad comes even close to this level, and it makes the pad even that much better. Some people said the pad has an X and Y difference, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. At least it's not really noticeable for the soft version. I can literally turn my pad 90 degrees and it feels the exact same. Another great thing about the pad is its consistency, how it handles humidity and temperature. Glide is basically always the same. Here's a quick sound test. Stitching of the pad is literally the best I've ever seen. It looks super clean and is the same height as the rest of the pad, so you don't even notice you hit the edge. You also don't notice the stitching rubbing against your arm. The pad in my possession that comes closest to this is the Fnatic Dash, but it's still not nearly as good. The rubber base is, again, on another level. It's not the same as on every other pad. This one feels nicer, smells nicer, and sticks better to your desk. I've heard that some people are having issues with the mid hardness, as that one apparently sticks less to your desk, so that's another reason to go for a softer one. This one literally doesn't budge at all. If it does, you could put some water underneath and it should literally be glued to your desk. I've washed this pad once and it could literally stick to the wall. Washing the pad is also pretty easy. I'll put a link to a tutorial in the description to save people that don't care some time. The durability of the pad also seems to be really good. As I've said, this has been my main for the past 4 months. I'm basically 24/7 behind my PC for both hobbies, work and uni, so I can tell you I've put a ton of hours into this pad. There's not really any noticeable wear after those 4 months. I haven't noticed it slowing down, apart from the first week or so when it had to break in. I washed it a couple of weeks ago. The durability is definitely way better than most other pads, but I wouldn't dare to say that it's godlike. Okay, now I want to go over some questions you guys had for me on Reddit. If you have any questions yourself, please let me know in the comments.
How is it compared to the MP510 and MPC?
In terms of speed, it's quite a bit faster than the MP510 and noticeably slower than the MPC. The Hien has far better stitching than both and it's way plushier. All of these pads are quite durable. The MPC probably takes the cake here. In terms of roughness, the MP510 is by far the roughest. The other two have a tighter weave. Although they're all quite rough, the MPC feels slightly less rough than the Hien and you notice the least friction on your arm. The base on the MP510 and the MPC are the same and the Hien has the best rubber base. Going from a MP510 to a Hien, you'll definitely have to get used to the speed and the lower amount of stopping power. The Hien has slightly more static friction than the MPC and more stopping power. I personally prefer the Hien.
Is the soft truly soft?
The softness is only about the sponge, not the surface. If the mid is abrasive on your skin, the soft version will be the same. You could always get an arm sleeve if you find out it's too rough for you. Made a video about that as well.
How does it compare to traditional cloth pads?
Comparing this to my QCK Heavy and Gigantus V2, this one is way faster. Less stopping power, way rougher, plushier, more durable, more expensive, harder to get, more consistent and more fun to play with in my opinion. The Hien also doesn't absorb skin oils that much and doesn't get affected by the environment, unlike the other two. Switching from a slower cloth pad to this one will take some getting used to. If it's worth it to you depends on how bad you want to try an Artisan, and if you think your current pad is too slow. If you're too afraid this one will be too fast for you, go with the Artisan Zero.
What will you do if you could travel back in time?
Buy it again.
Talk about discoloration on the pad.
Haven't noticed any change in color.
Some gameplay would be cool with a mouse cam.
Okay.
Give me. Fuck your mother, Jordi, fuck your mother.
Yes, Artisans are really just the best quality pads out there. Just the base, sponge and stitching are on a level literally no other mousepad company can compete with. These are also things that are not really personal preference, it's just indisputably better. Regarding the surface, that's personal preference and it's something you have to decide for yourself if this sounds like something you want to get. This pad is for sure my favorite of all time. It is really a pad for enthusiasts. If you're just a casual gamer or if you don't really play first-person shooters competitively, I wouldn't really recommend one unless you have too much money laying around.
What's up, man? Your aim is bad, man. Your aim is bad. Very bad.
Otherwise, definitely give one a go. It's just a must-try for any mousepad enthusiast or competitive first-person shooter player. Links to the Artisan website and Amazon in the description. Try to get it from Artisan themselves as it's most likely cheaper, but if you do decide to order one from Amazon, I appreciate you using my affiliate link.
Alter.
We've taken the last 3 rounds.
Your aim is bad and your push is bad.
Hostile down.
And point is out, Digga.
I've really tried to cover every single detail. If you have any questions or feel like I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. I really appreciate you watching, don't forget to subscribe.
People that subscribe are super cool, please take my babies.
Scheiß drauf. Oh, Alan.
We've taken the last
Pipi,
4 rounds.
fuck your big mother. No, I your father.
Kill.
I need your mother's pussy. Pipi, fuck your mother.